Hello children, welcome back to Brilliant's online edu classes. This is the second part of chapter 1 development, class 10 economics. In this video, we will be seeing the concept of educational facilities, the concept of the health facilities, why the public facilities are important in the nation, and the important topic of the chapter, that is what the Human Development Index. And last but not the least, we have the sustainable development. So let's begin our video. Earlier, we looked at individual goals. We found that people not only think of income, they also think of other measure of development. Like they want more income, that is their primary goal. But apart from that, they also seek for liberty, respect, freedom, equal treatment, that is only the equality, then security, peaceful life, and other important facilities are there, which the people they used to search with the primary goal, that is more income. So what all other things, what all other facilities are equally important? So other criteria which is equally important for comparing the countries and for one's development, that is what the educational facilities, the health facilities, and the public facilities. So for all these facilities which are required in any country, the government's intervention is must. So here comes the first important facility, that is what the educational facility. For quality of life, health and education is equally important. So let's see how can we measure the educational facilities of the country. We have the first measurement, that is what the literacy rate. It represents that what proportion of the population can read and write in the age of 7 and above. Then we have the net attendance ratio, which shows the total number of the children of the age group of 6 to 10 attending school out of the total number of the children in the same age group. Then here comes the gross enrollment ratio as well, which is also equally important when we are seeing the country's educational status. Then the topic, that is what the education, how it will lead to the country's growth. So that is what, first of all, there will be the attainment of the various skills and knowledge. Just because of education, people will get the knowledge, which will increase the productivity efficiency at the end. Just because of that productivity efficiency, it will increase the production in the economy of goods and services. When more production of the goods and services will be there, then what will happen at the end, we will be able to generate the income with that production, because that production will be sold in the market and will get the income, which will increase the national income. As a result, there will be the growth of a country, the development of a country will be there just because of that education. So here you can conclude that the education is one of the important criteria for country's development. The another facility which is equally important for quality of life, that we have already discussed, that is what the health facility, which shows the medical facilities which are provided to people so that work efficiency of citizens can be improved. So that is what the health status of the people can be measured on the basis of the first criteria with which we used to measure the health facility, that is only the infant mortality rate, which shows that number of the children dying before the age of 1, before celebrating their first birthday, the children, those who are dying, that is only the infant mortality rate. Then the another criteria with which we used to compare the country's health status, that is what the life expectancy rate. It shows average number of years a person is expected to live, that is only the life expectancy rate. Higher life expectancy represents that there is better medical facilities in the country. The better medical facilities are there, that is why the people, they are living more. So that is only indicator of the country's development, you can say. That is the higher life expectancy shows the availability of the better medical facility, which indicates the country's development. Here comes the next criteria for comparison, that is what the public facility. Now what do you mean by public facilities? As the money which is there in our pocket, with that money we cannot purchase all those facilities which are equally important for one's development, for the country's development. So what all facilities we require? We require the transportation facilities, we require schools, the construction of schools, dams, roads, bridges, street lights, the public distribution system, government dispensaries. So all these facilities are equally important for country's development and for one's development. So facilities provided by the government to the general public for welfare purpose, because the government, they don't go ahead with the profit maximization. They always try to maximize the welfare in the economy. So these all are the example of the public facilities. So let us compare these three states on the basis of per capita income, infant mortality rate, literacy rate, net attendance ratio. Here, with the help of the per capita income, we can see Haryana is ahead with the per capita income of 1,62,034. Then we take infant mortality rate. That is, if in an area 1000 children are born out, so out of that, how many survive and how many die? Number of children who die is given here. That is 33, 10 and 38. So best state is Kerala here, because Kerala's IMR is less. Then here comes the literacy rate of all the three states, and on that line also Kerala is ahead with the 94% of the literate population. Then we have the net attendance ratio, which represents the age group of 6 to 10, those who are attending the school. That is what in Haryana 61, Kerala 83 and Bihar 43. So it represents, again with this factor as well, Kerala is ahead. So what conclusion can be drawn from this schedule? That is Kerala is better in all the field, but only in per capita income Haryana is better. So this tells that people in Kerala are happy. Why are they happy? Reason is their public distribution system. Everyone is getting food grains. Because of that, everyone is getting the proper education facilities and the health facilities. So these facilities are better in Kerala than the other states. So that is why the Kerala is considered to be the best state. Now we come to how to measure development again. So first we saw the total income in our previous video. Then it was the average income, which we have seen in our last video. Both of them have drawbacks. Then we have seen three states and we have seen some other factors also. So we have finally come to a conclusion that only HDI, which is the another criteria for measuring the country. So what is that HDI? Human Development Index. It is the worldwide accepted indicator of development, and it measures the economic welfare and status of the development in a particular country. So the UNDP is the United Nations Development Program, developed the HDI for the first time in the year 1919 in its Human Development Report, the report which is presented by the UNDP. And what is HDI? The Human Development Index is the statistics of three indicators which are used to rank countries in the level of the human development. So let's check what are these factors. HDI is a composite index that measures the average achievements of country in these three basic dimensions, or you can say as the parameters of the human development. First, long and healthy life, then educational attainment, knowledge, and a decent standard of living. So for long and healthy life, we have the life expectancy rate with which we can compare the country's health status. For educational attainment knowledge, we have adult literacy rate and gross enrollment ratio. And for decent standard of living, the UNDP uses the per capita income. So by all these three factors or these three parameters, you can construct the HDI, and so based on that only the countries are measured, the country's development is seen. So based on these factors only countries are measured. How is HDI expressed? It is expressed as a ratio between 0 to 1. The countries which are closer to 1 are developed, and the countries closer to zero are less developed it represents. Now, we will take some countries, starting with Sri Lanka, which is closely located to India. The ranking will see the HDI ranking in the world is 93 of Sri Lanka. The rank of the India is 126. With this schedule, we can conclude that in all the aspect, the Sri Lanka, though it is the small country, but is much ahead of India in every respect. Life expectancy, with the life expectancy at birth, also Sri Lanka is ahead. In Sri Lanka, 91% of the total population are literate, and again, Sri Lanka is ahead. Then gross enrollment ratios, again the Sri Lanka is ahead, and the rank of the Sri Lanka, that is why it's 93 given by the HDI. Then very popular question from this topic: what is the difference between the criterion used by the World Bank and the United Nations in classifying countries? In our previous video, we have seen what is the criteria used by the World Bank. World Development Report, which is brought by the World Bank, they are using the per capita income, but the same is used by the UNDP as well, but along with that they are using the life expectancy and the adult literacy rate as well. So that is what the comparison when it is asked with the World Bank and the UNDP. So what all criteria used by the World Bank, you can mention here only the per capita income is used by the World Bank, but the UNDP is using all other criterias. World Bank divides the countries into two parts, that is rich and low income countries on the basis of the per capita income. Here comes the next topic, that is what sustainable development. That is what the development which meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. It means the development should take place without damaging the environment, and development of present should not be compromised with the needs of the future generation. So that is only the sustainable development says. And we can explain the concept of the sustainable development with the example of renewable resource. What is renewable resource? The example which I have taken of the renewable resource, that is only the groundwater, which can be renewed again, that is only the renewable resource. Excessive use of the groundwater for a variety of purposes has significantly depleted the water table, and we will face severe shortage of the water if trend is not reversed soon. So what is suggested by this sustainability of the development? We should use the resource judiciously so that we can leave some resource for our future generation as well. So that is only the sustainable development with the renewable resource, such as crude oil, which we cannot regenerate it. So that is only the non-renewable resource. So that is what we have to use the crude oil in such a manner so that we can leave some part of the crude oil for our future generation. So if present consumption is not checked, then what will happen? Then there will be the shortage of the crude oil, which will increase the prices of all those commodity. Along with that, everything will be costlier, which just because of that country will face the financial problem, and at the end it will lead to the severe crisis. That is why the present need is to be checked. That is only the concept of the sustainable development says. Thank you, children.